Okay. Artists, creatives, designers, welcome to Dream Aloud Art, y'all. We certainly appreciate you coming on board with us. As always, RTA stands for Respect the Artist, and you know we do that all day, every day. I am Electra, aka Dream, aka the Oprah of Art. I've gotten all of these names, but I certainly appreciate you. If you're just coming through and you're browsing and you're looking and you're just like, what are these two folks talking about on the live? Go ahead and follow me at Dream Aloud Art. And after you follow me, make sure you click the link in my bio so you can watch these full interviews by subscribing on YouTube. And while you're at it, make sure you follow Art of Christopher Edwin, who is our amazing guest today. OMG, we have so much to talk about. Yes, but make sure that you follow him. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one, the very first question we really want to know, for people who are just jumping on the live and they do not know anything about Christopher Edwin, how would you introduce yourself to let somebody know what you do creatively?
Well, I would say I'm a black artist from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm basically a visual artist, kind of much more focused on celebrating the beauty of black excellence and dopeness through artwork.
Well said.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. Well, that's like, I respect that introduction. That's awesome. So I'm going to take that and
Thank
just
you.
lead into your page. Okay. So now we have a general understanding of what you do. We go to your page. Is there necessarily a consistent theme that you keep with your artwork, or it just depends on, you know, what you feel like producing or who you're connecting with? What is that layout for you? Do you keep a consistent theme, you know, or do you kind of change it a little bit here or there?
Yeah, I would say I've always been fascinated by creating artwork based, like, majorly my main characters are the majorly black women. But oftentimes I kind of like change directive and like work on male paintings and sometimes kids. But my major focus is based on women of color.
Okay, all right. I get that feel, but I don't ever want to assume. That's why we have this conversation.
hmm
Now, I
That's
really
cool.
want, although there are other questions, you know, I can ask questions all day, every day, because that's what I do.
Yeah,
But
cool.
there were some
hmm
things that you said you definitely wanted to make a talking point. So we can go ahead and start with those things because that's imperative to you and it's imperative to our community too. Okay, if it's something you want to discuss. So let's
hmm
start with the most recent post of yours, which is this one, and I'll show this to our viewers. So what can
Okay.
you tell us about this particular piece? What do you want to share about it?
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the incident that happened with Ahmaud Arbery, right? As well as Sean
Absolutely.
Reed. Yeah. Basically, the piece is kind of like much more focused on enlightening the message about the mothers of these kids, you know. Majorly, society kind of like focused on just like having these hashtags based on what happened in the incident and like
Mhm.
fighting against it, but not everybody speaks about how the parents, the mother who took 9 months to bear these kids are feeling. So this piece is much more
Mm,
focused on the agony, and the mothers go through when they have issues like this. From the
yeah.
Trayvon Martin, you know,
Mm-hmm.
majorly black kids. I don't really know how we have tons of incidents based on black folks, and
Right.
majorly is most of the mothers who kind of like feel the pain. You could see the flag at the back. It's kind of like represents being black in America, of course. And you could see the
Yes.
gunshot wounds at the back. It's much more. It's not only the pain of the kids, it's also the pain the mothers feel.
That's
So
right.
yeah, and
It's
um,
definitely felt.
no, this piece was an old piece. I made this piece back then, majorly for when the incident of Mexican kids were being separated from their families. I don't know if you heard of that.
Ah,
Yeah, if
okay.
you look closely, you will see I have a Mexican flag with cages. I didn't really share the full picture here, but I could share that later on with you. But it's much more focused on Mexican flags, kind of like held up in cages and screaming dad and mom. It's much more
Mm,
focused on the kids, like crying for help to like meet their parents instead of being locked up in, like, confined in cages. So it's much more an intertwine between black parents and the agony kids are being felt when they are locked up in cages without having the chance to see their parents. So yeah,
Right.
that's basically what that's much more about.
Well, I think it's, it's important for artists, and this is to whomever it applies for, but it is important to use their talents and skills for for documenting,
Hmm.
for marking where we're at, at this time in history. So yeah, this is definitely pivotal. I love that one. It is felt, not every creative, masterpiece is lighthearted and all about happy times. It's about, feeling it, feeling it
Hmm.
letting people be aware of what's going on in case you haven't been put on. So I really appreciate the message from that and your feedback on that, most definitely. And let's see, the one right before that is it's a different photo, but I'm going to show a different photo that's just kind of a little more up close in person. So I love this one. I'm just all about it. The vibe, the color choice, the position. I mean, all of it. So what do you want to share as far as this recent post is concerned?
Basically, if I was to say, just be looking at this piece, you could see it celebrates black women as black queens. From the cornrows to the way she reps the
Black woman.
African beads. Yeah, you can see the
Right,
tribal
right.
design on the clothing. Yeah, the tribal marks on her face, her earrings. It's much more
Hmm.
celebrating like black women as queens naturally. That's literally much about it.
I love that. How long? How?
Yep.
What's the size of this piece? What is the size of that? I know you have this photo here, but
Yeah, that's 36 by 48 inch.
oh, okay, all right, awesome. Oh my gosh. So there. Okay, from your recent ones, which one was another one you wanted to touch bases on?
The Kobe piece, the cancer survivor piece, this one. Yeah, the one
Okay,
with the
this
mom
one.
with the child. Yeah, this COVID piece. Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
so yeah, please expand on this one. Wow.
Yep.
Mm.
I don't really know
Mm.
if
So what are
you're a
all
fan.
these symbols? What are these symbols, first of all, that we're
I don't
looking
really know
at?
if you're a fan of like, do you watch Iron Man? Have you watched Iron Man,
I have,
the movie?
yes. Yes.
Yeah. Are you aware of his story? How he started, the issue with his heart, and how he like? Are you familiar with it?
Oh, yes, yes,
Yep.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what happened? Because if you explained the, okay, no, okay.
No,
All
I
right, I
didn't.
see where you're coming from. The COVID one, oh my gosh. So, okay, I know you said you wanted to expand on those. What do you want to add about your process when it comes to creating these kind of pieces? What is your reference for, like I'm like, let's just say I'm starting off. I have no idea what the process is, but I see your finished pieces and I'm like, man, I want to do that. So what kind of process do you go through in order to produce something like this or any of the ones that you've shown? What is your process, including this one or this one? What does it vary, or do you usually have the same general process?
Yeah, it varies. It varies depending on
Okay.
the character I'm trying to like work on. Like for the COVID piece, the nurse piece, I kind of like based my story on the Iron Man.
Yes.
This piece is literally titled Heart of Sacrifice. Okay, you could see she doesn't have a face because I wasn't trying to like portray her as just a black woman because I know nurses all around the world are not all blacks. We have the whites, we have
Right.
the Latinos, we have the Caucasians. So I wasn't trying to like identify her as a nurse being just black. So that was why I had her facial representation kind of like removed. Okay.
Mm, mm.
Then if you look closely at her chest area here, you could see the Iron Man reactor. The idea
Right.
behind that was kind of like these ladies, these mothers, these graduates, like they kind of like have kids, they have loved ones at home, they have husbands, and
Right.
yet every day they take their hearts going into the ICU and various places of work, knowing fairly well like they might die and they might not survive that particular day, but still they
It's real
take the
life.
heart. So basically, the idea around the heart is majorly it's not a full heart, like it's a shared heart at this moment. Once they leave their home and go into
Mm,
their place, it's a shared piece of heart. They share their
mm.
hearts with themselves and their patients. So
That's
it's
powerful.
more like a 50-50 process. So they take the part of themselves and like share it with the patients to give care, nurture, and ensure COVID patients and like sick people are being taken care of at the expense of their own health as nurses. Okay.
Mm, mm.
Yep. Majorly,
That's
that's what it's
powerful.
more about. The
That's
crown at
powerful.
the crown on our hair kind of like
Love it.
symbolizes them as why they do what they're doing. That's
That's
it.
right. Rightfully so. So look
Hmm.
at you. Yeah, shout outs too. That's really, yeah, it's moving. It's moving. And most of, I mean, your work I've shared on my page several times. I think maybe a couple of times, maybe three times, but I've
Twice.
definitely shared it on
Yeah.
a couple of times. Okay. And I've definitely shared it
Hmm.
on story posts too. But, it's really felt, it just has its own vibration, if you will. It really does. So, and a
Hmm.
signature. It's signature. I mean, if I'm tagged in one of your posts, like I already know who it is. It's like I know exactly who it is. You have a very signature style. So let's touch on your training and how you got to be at the point that you're at currently. Okay. So did you
Hmm.
ever have formal training? Like, for me, I went to university and all of this, but it didn't stop there. I did my own thing. I learned programs on my own. So what has that learning and education process been like for you, Christopher?
It might come as a kind of surprise to you, but I'm self-taught.
Self-taught. That's
Hmm.
respect, respect. So how did you, okay, you're self-taught, but at what point
Hmm.
did you decide to really buckle down and really hone in on your skills? Where did that come into play? Or has it just been gradual throughout your life? So when did you really start to say, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to really focus on this? What has that journey been like?
Okay. I would say I've always been good at painting as a young artist back then. Probably when I was 8, I kind of like got introduced into making art when
Mm,
I was 8. Yeah, so
okay.
it's kind of came naturally at a young age. Like
My gosh.
I was much I was much more fascinated about like Spider-Man, X-Men, beauty
Okay.
magazines, comic books, literally
Mm-hmm.
just basic art back then at the time, and I was like, it kind of like felt natural when I was like, I could do this, you know.
Right.
I would say family background back then was kind of poor. I was to say, I
Mm-hmm.
started out with pencils. Yeah, if I could remember clearly, I started out with pencils. At the time, I kind of like got bored with pencils, you know. So I
Right.
would say I took it for granted back then when I was young. I took it for granted. So when I
Mm-hmm.
got into high school, I think that was by the age of 12 or 13, I think. I kind of like felt fascinated by making paintings with ballpoint paints, like ballpoint paint, stuff like this.
Right. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so majorly, I kind of realized whenever I use pencils to paint, I had this urge to like use the eraser, and it's kept me making mistakes and mistakes. I kind of like felt like if I made a mistake, I could like easily erase it. So I was like, I need to like get better. So I had to start using ballpoint pen and kind of like to limit the amount of mistakes I make in paintings. you know,
Woo! Yeah, yeah. Doing
that
anything with
so
pen
that was
is
it.
a challenge.
Yep. Back then, my dad wasn't impressed. Like seriously, he wasn't impressed at my choice for making artwork. Like I could remember at the
He
time,
was not
he came in.
impressed.
He wasn't impressed. Nah, that wasn't his idea of
Wow.
like. That wasn't his idea of a career choice as a young Nigerian kid back then. He was much more focused on me being focused on medicine, engineering, or being an accountant or a lawyer. but nah, I wasn't
Oh,
really interested in that, you know. So
understood.
I was I was much more focused on trying to like prove him wrong. Okay, you know, I
Okay.
remember the back then he kind of like got into
The
my room.
motivation.
He saw these art pieces I did on my room, pasted on my walls. He kind of like just ripped them off, you know. It was really bad then. Like I was like, why would he do such a thing? It was like he doesn't want to see stuff like that around. If I don't like focus on being successful for myself, like indulging in stuff that related with engineering or medicine, you
All
know,
right.
the core force of the career choice. He wasn't expecting something like that from me, so I was like, okay, okay. So I kind of like later got a passion for medicine, you know, but going into college it didn't work out for me. So I later
So,
like
so medicine, you said actually medicine was where you
yeah,
were
I kind of like
for
my mom was a
design a little
nurse.
bit. Okay. Okay. You're like,
My
let me
mom was a
test.
nurse. Okay, my mom was a nurse. She was an emergency
Oh,
unit nurse, and I was yeah, I kind of like felt fascinated with her style of work, and I like felt like I could study medicine back in college, but it didn't work out for me. So I went into engineering. I graduated, I think that was 2017 as a bioenvironmental engineering student. But
okay.
over here in Nigeria, I would say it's the corruption over here in Nigeria. Like
Mm,
you might
mm.
graduate with a really good first class degree, but if you don't really know people at the top, you wouldn't get the kind of job you're looking to get over here. Like the pay is really less. So I was like, ah,
Yeah, it's out
well,
there. It is out
um,
there. That kind of, yeah,
yeah.
connections and whatnot. Got you.
So I
Mm.
was like, probably now would be a good time to rekindle that child creative I had back then as a kid, you know. So I kind of like realized I could like since I wasn't exposed to like acrylic or oil, it was really expensive back then. So I was like, I figured out I could get into digital painting. That
Okay.
was it. I kept on learning and like inventing my style and trying to like find my own art style. And
Find
with
your own
time, I got
style. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty much it.
So you've shared with us some of your challenges as far as support, especially with your
Mm-hmm.
family dynamics. Who
Mm-hmm.
has been most supportive of your creative ventures? Who has really backed you and supported you?
My mom.
Your mom has. Okay, so your mom
Yeah.
has. Awesome. Now, did you
Mhm.
touch on she was she creative in ways too, or has she ever dived
No,
into?
no.
But she was
I
definitely
come from
supportive, which is powerful.
yeah, I come from a family of three, two boys and a girl. I would say I'm the only creative one in the family. In the family,
Okay,
okay. Like,
in that way. Got
but
you.
my dad wasn't really supportive. But each time I kind of like ran out of ballpoint pen or like creative supplies, she kind of like supported me in getting art supplies and just like I could be whatever I want to be. It's just my choice. It doesn't have to like be you know enforced on me to become what I don't want to be and regret the choice later back in life. So she was like, if this is what I want to be in life, she would help me and support me. So I would say it's my
Right.
mom.
Good, good. And that's vital. When did you, well, this is my mind is going to Instagram, but when did you start on Instagram as far as sharing your artwork and everything like that and just say, you know what, I'm really going to put some energy into sharing my artwork. When did you start
Okay,
that?
I would say I think 2018, late 2018,
Oh,
because
whoa, man, you a vet. All right. My
you know,
hat's
like
off to you.
I didn't start up as a digital artist though. I started as making logos, making t-shirt designs for entrepreneurs. But with a couple of big entrepreneurs in the industry. So, you know, I make
Mm.
t-shirt designs, hoodies, sneakers. If you were to
Oh,
go back
that's the link in your
down,
bio? Is the link in your
yep.
bio? Okay, because now's a good
No,
time
no, no, no,
to
no.
save that. It's not?
No, the one on my bio now is just more focused on my canvas paintings. But back then,
Okay.
I made t-shirts, you
Oh,
know,
back then.
hoodies. Yep,
Okay.
that was
Okay.
how I started out. So I really got really focused on digital painting in 2018. So that was when I started making kind of pieces you saw on my website now.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I was just curious about that, the IG memory lane, if you will. So, but
Mm-hmm.
you've definitely been active on IG for a while. So yeah, 10 years. That's what's up. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. So what do you think has been one of your most challenging moments as an artist? You know, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face?
Um, with every artist is I would say it's recognition. Okay, you know
Okay.
there are thousands of artists over there in the USA, the world, out there in the world, and you know you just come into the scene, you would want to like prove yourself as a power figure in the industry. So
Mm,
I didn't really kind of focus on art in general. That was why I kind of like focused much more on black excellence. But I also noticed they were really, you know, creative artists in the African American niche. But yeah, majorly my basic challenge was getting recognized, getting people to know who I was, the kind of art I stand
mm.
for. That was majorly what my that was just it. That was to say
Yeah, just getting out there, just getting your work out there. Is that what you're saying?
being
Okay.
recognized, you know, known for my work and what I do.
Right, right. All right. I mean, I'd say, you know, and I'm looking at your page here. I'd say that you get a lot of engagement, and I think that's important too. You know, folks that are actually
Hmm.
continuing the conversation from your shared artwork. I think that's critical.
Yeah.
I'm all about engagement. You know, I mean, it's one thing to have like X amount of followers, etc., but then having that engagement, keeping that conversation is critical
Hmm.
as far as networking and expanding. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
For sure, for sure. Okay. Oh, well, I know you mentioned earlier a little bit about dabbling with pen and actually utilizing that drawing. So, is the main
Yep.
thing that you focus on right now painting, or do you still experiment with other kinds of media, creative
Yeah.
outlets? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I still have my sketchbook where I like dabble with ballpoint paintings, just
Oh,
rough
you still do?
sketches, you
Okay.
know.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. And well, I was just curious about that. A question that we generally get also with these interviews is creative block. Creative block.
Oh,
Is this something that
God.
you've had to face before?
Oh
And what
God.
exactly and what let's make it a conversation too after you answer that. But what exactly is creative block? So starting off, creative block for you. Have you had it
A lot
in
of
your mental?
times.
A lot of times. All right. So what is creative block for you? What is that? Define that.
Well, if I was to say, like defining a plain way, I would say it's like you having a vision of what you want to create. Okay,
Okay.
you have your brush in hand, you have your canvas looking right back at you. You know you want to
Mm,
paint, but you just kind of like lack
got the
the
vision.
drive to like just work on it. You know, and no matter what you do, it's just gonna keep on seeing the black canvas, and you can't do shit for it. You know, you can't do
Mm.
anything for it. Just keep
All
on staring
right.
at the canvas. Yeah, it's kind of like an
So
absence of
how
creative flow, you know.
okay. All right. So
Mhm.
absence of a creative flow and okay, which is an awesome definition of it. So how do you get around it? How do you repair this this creative block?
For
What do you do
me,
in that?
it's taking nature walks, eating lots of apples,
Mm,
and just listening to music.
okay. Now you said taking some nature
Yeah.
walks. This is exactly what I've shared with my artists before is get away from it. Like when you're having the block, you're having the
Hmm.
moment, step
Yeah.
away, okay? Don't try to pound at it and think something's going to change. But yeah, that's excellent advice. Step away, go on a nature walk. Look, take care of yourself, have some
Hmm.
apples, like
Hmm.
hey, that's I'm with it. I think that's an excellent answer, and thank you for sharing that. So
You're welcome.
sometimes people want to fight fire with fire, kind of like, oh, I'm having issues, and they want to stress over that more. That's not going to help. I just don't
Nope.
believe it's going to. It hasn't helped me, but I usually just step away. So good feedback. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to I'm gonna dive into the cards just in case to see if anyone had some questions. Sometimes people post questions in the comments too. So
Mm-hmm.
a couple of people have been sharing that you're an inspiration. I'm going to add that too. A lot of good comments and feedback from our viewers. Shout out to y'all. We appreciate that. Now, we do have a question in the queue. All right, we have a question here, Christopher. It is from Cassian. His question is, if money wasn't an issue, what would you do to inspire new impressionable artists? If money wasn't an issue, what would you do to inspire new impressionable artists?
Well, I would say just create like
Thank you for that question.
if you I would say you should just create like if you create art solely for the purpose of making money, you might lose the passion, you know? Like most
Mm,
artists, you see most artists kind of like clamoring for likes on IG. Like they don't get the
say
like
that.
kind of response they want, or they get critics, they kind of like lose focus and kind of like get really depressed, you know?
Mhm.
So I would say just do what's best for you. Just create.
Yeah.
Just keep on creating. Like make your art like something that inspires someone whenever they see your art piece. Not just basically about making money for yourself. You know.
Yes.
So that's much more. If like you being a lecturer, you've seen my pieces and you had the opportunity to like share it with your viewers, it was because my artwork inspired you. Not because I was like trying to like make money off my art just so you could purchase it, right? So
There you go.
that's it.
That's powerful and so true. Oh my goodness, so true. Wait, why are you holding the pen?
Just jotting down notes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were going to say something about it, but absolutely that idea of let me do something just to make money, it kind of deviates from the focus on the passion. You know, that's where I'm at with
Mm-hmm.
it. Is just
Yep.
relax about the whole got to get this paper mindset, got to get this money. Relax on that, focus on your passion, and do exactly what it is that you would like to do at your core. And if
Mm-hmm.
people don't gravitate to that, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Not everyone is gonna,
That's true.
not everyone's gonna like your work. Not everybody's gonna, be your biggest cheerleader, but you gotta be your own cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Say that, Christopher. Take him to church. Yes. I'm feeling it. Awesome. That's some really good feedback. Looks like someone's posing a question in the comments, and I'm going to focus on that one. It's from Gentleman and Scholar. He asked, do you approach larger pieces and different than you do regular size pieces? I ask because I'm trying to develop a routine. I need structure. Your thoughts on that?
That's kind of long. Can you come again?
It is long. Okay, I'll read it one more time from Gentleman and Scholar. Do you approach larger pieces and different than, he's asking, are you approaching larger pieces differently than regular size pieces? I ask because I'm trying to develop a routine and I need structure. I think he may be
Okay.
asking about the process. Gentleman and Scholar, if you have any other feedback about that question, go ahead and just add it in the comments if you can get more specific. But I think he's just asking about the different sizes of your canvases. Like what is your exact process maybe? And for me, I'm making a face saying that because I don't really have like when I did some painting, I didn't really have like an exact process per size of
Mm-hmm.
canvas. Um, but do you want to give some feedback? Okay, well, he says any. I,
Okay.
I think just if you have anything else, Gentleman, a Scholar, add that. Add anything else to get more specific to your question. But go ahead, Christopher. You have anything you want to share about the
Yeah.
process as to the size
I
of your
think
canvas?
I think what he's asking is majorly asking if like creating a larger size piece, it's much more probably harder or like time consuming to creating a like lesser size piece. Like if I was working on an 18 by 24 canvas, you know, and like a
Yes.
36 by 48, that's a huge difference. But me being a digital artist, I kind of like try to work on larger pieces. So if I was to like have like orders or interest from people who wanted smaller size piece, I could just like downsize and just
Okay.
make it available to them.
Okay. All right. All right.
Mhm.
Well, that's acceptable for me, gentleman and scholar. If you have anything else again that you want to add, then please do. Otherwise, thank you for that question. We appreciate it. So, Christopher, heads up. Thank you for all of my questions and for answering some of our viewers' questions. So let's move
That's
on
cool.
and if some questions pop up in the queue, viewers, we'll go ahead and open the floor again if we have a moment for that. Okay. So, I do
Hmm.
want to add a gentleman here, Diz Wayne. He said, "Wow, that Riri piece is fire." He loves Riri. Okay, he loves some Rihanna. So yeah, big shout out to him. But yes, do you have any questions for me? We're gonna flip the script. Do you have any questions for me, Christopher?
Uh, um, let me see. Okay, like I would like to ask, like, why did you choose this career path about like interviewing artists, knowing their creative
Right.
process and like sharing their message to the world?
Because I absolutely love art. It's been life is a journey, and I've taken different routes creatively.
Hmm.
But I feel like what it has boiled down to is that I love and appreciate all forms of expression. And because I have so much passion for that, I want to share everybody's artwork. I just want to share
Hmm.
it because I think that we share it in the way that I'm sharing it, okay? Making it a conversation. Um,
Okay.
we need that. The art community needs more of that. It needs to be more of a conversation. I think that's the heart of it for me. And I'm relating to what you had answered to earlier about focusing on the money as opposed to the passion. And
Hmm.
when I was doing a lot of things creatively, I was focusing on how to sell as opposed to the passion. And that's when it became stressful because some things were in high
Okay.
demand, and I was just like, there's only one of me. Oh, I can't do this, it's too much. So this approach with my company, with Respect the Artists Enterprises, RTA Enterprises, it's solely based on the foundation of artists, like supporting artists. Like, that's it. That's all. That is all.
That's
That's what
cool.
we do.
Wow.
And it's so much easier. I just want to relate to you. It's so much easier when you come from the place of passion,
Hmm.
period. That's
Yep.
the fuel. And masterpieces like yours are the fuel. It's like, oh yes, someone has come up with more fire art, so I've got to share it. It definitely is fuel. So yeah. Thank you.
That's
Thank you for
that's
that question.
yeah. Welcome.
So it looks like we have another viewer has posed a question, and it's in the
Yeah.
stack of cards. I'm gonna open that up real quick. We have time for another one here. Okay, so Alanosis asks, is there someone you'd like to collaborate with? Is there someone you'd like to collaborate with? Thank you for that question, Alanosis.
I have a couple
A
of arts
couple?
that I collaborate with. Yep.
All right, let's go. Let's
Um,
go. Who would you like to collaborate with?
Chuck Styles,
Oh,
Laulu Seibanjo. Are you familiar with that?
who?
Laulu Seibanjo. He's a Nigerian artist
Oh,
based in Brooklyn, New York.
oh, okay. All right, for
He
sure.
made he made he made the paintings for Beyonce's Lemonade video.
Oh, wow. Sheesh.
Yep.
Um, After the interview, can you DM me his profile? I'd love to
Yeah,
see
sure,
his artwork
sure.
and get an idea
Uh,
of who this is. Okay.
as well as Kehinde Wiley and Kevin Williams, Art by Wack.
I love
Mm-hmm.
Kehinde Wiley. There's like, oh my gosh. And my sister, who's hanging out in the live right now, she's the one who introduced me to Kehinde Wiley's work years ago.
Wow.
And I'm in
Yep.
Richmond. I live in Richmond, Virginia. And Kehinde
Okay.
came out to the museum like 10 minutes from me, and we saw him live. And
What?
yeah, it was an unveiling of his statue. Oh gosh, Rumors of War. Oh, it was amazing. And of course, you've seen Kehinde Wiley dress before, right? You see how he dresses?
Mm-hmm.
Highly fashionable. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. I felt like I was going to faint. I was like, oh, Kehinde Wiley. Oh my God. But those are, and I'm curious about the artists you just mentioned too, but an amazing lineup for people you'd like to collaborate with. So shout out to you, Christopher.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Yeah, Rumors of War. That was the name of it. So yeah, the name of his statue. Very epic moment. Okay, so I'm going to see if we have one more question, and then we're going to move on to the word game. Okay, what's your take? All right, someone asked this question, I believe is Kaula. What's your take on the art community in Nigeria? What's your take on the art community in Nigeria?
Literally, I would say I'm much more focused on the African American market, and I haven't really explored Nigerian markets. Even being based here in Nigeria, I haven't really explored it because I've seen, um, although there's value for art here in Nigeria, but it's not like widely appreciated compared to how it's
Okay.
appreciated in other countries. Okay, so like basically, like to focus my art on you know America, the UK, just
Right.
literally any outside Nigeria. 'Cause, being
Right.
an artist in Nigeria isn't really like a career choice you could really get successful with unless you kind of like get out, and branch out and like
That's
made up
true.
with. Yeah, that's the major reason why I kind of like focus more on African Americans over.
Right. All right. All right. Thank you for that answer. And thank you for the question, Kaula. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. So, okay, Christopher, you have informed us, educated us, and enlightened us on your theme of Black excellence in your work. So we greatly appreciate that. We really do. So now we're going to
Mm-hmm.
relax it. We're going to relax it and ease it out with a word game. Are you ready for the word game? I will explain the rules, but are you ready?
Okay, bring it
You
on.
have no choice but to be. No choice but to be ready. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you some colors, and you have to tell me the
Oh,
very first thing that you think about when I name the color, okay?
okay,
All right, you're going to have like a couple of seconds to answer, so you
okay.
got to be quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Let me see. I think we're good on time. All right. I'm gonna start with 5 colors. Okay. Your first color is red. What's the first thing you think about?
Apple. Apple.
Apples. You were just talking about apples earlier too. All right. I'm with it. The next color is pink. Pink.
Flamingos.
Okay, I'm with that. Shout out to you. See, that's a real artist answer there. Flamingos. All right. Okay, I'm with it. Your next color is orange. Orange.
Yeah, the orange fruit.
I'm gonna remove that one because everybody says orange. It's like, come on. Okay. Acceptable answer. Your next color is purple. Purple.
Prince.
Prince. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
like Purple Rain. I'm with it.
Yep.
Okay. Your next color is green. Green.
Is what? Green.
Green. Mm-hmm.
Lemon. Lemon.
A lemon for green?
Yep, the lemon fruits is
Okay.
green.
Okay, at the early stages, I think they're green, right? Maybe. All right. All right. And now your last color is yellow. Yellow.
Yellow. Huh. Oh God, you
You're
got
taking
you
too
got me.
long. Oh, what? You're taking, it's all good. It's all good. It's all right. Look, we gonna move on. Someone said grass for green. Okay, well, Christopher, we greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anyone that you want to say hello to? Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody right now?
Nothing comes to mind. Just shout out to the black women out there, the mothers out there, the beautiful ladies, kings and queen, who make the world go around. People like you. Yeah, shout out to people like you.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank
Welcome.
you. We appreciate you, viewers. Thank you so much for your amazing questions. Thank you for joining us on this live. You know, we can't do this without you. And of course, Christopher, we appreciate you. Stay creative. You never know who you're going to inspire. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. Okay. I'm going to disconnect from this end and I will DM you in a little bit.
Okay.
All
Thanks for the
right.
interview. Have a lovely day.
Yes. Thank you. Take
Yeah.
care. All right, y'all. That was Art of Christopher Edwin. His work is fire. Okay. In case you didn't look, in case you didn't know, his work is crazy. This is a painting of Riri. This is my favorite one. So shout out to y'all for joining us. We greatly appreciate you. Again, if you're just browsing, don't do that. Don't do that. Be one with me, okay? Follow me on Dream Aloud Art right here, and also subscribe on YouTube. The link is in the bio so you can see these full artist interviews, y'all. IGTV only holds 15 minutes. What is that? Come on now. You know these interviews are long. Good gracious. All right, y'all. So RTA stands for, what does that stand for? Respect the artist. That's all we do all day, every day. Wow. Much love to y'all. Thank you so much. Peace, peace from here to the Far East. Holla.